but later he will be eating me.
As part of this fantasy, so started to kind of consider yourselves as master and slave, correct?
Yes, sir.
If you disobey me in any way, or displease me in any way, I will use the one card that I have over you. Gypsy.
He would just talk in this horrible, scary voice, and he would talk about how he wanted to kill me and how he wanted to me. He said, I will get so bad that he will never find your body.
But you wanted a medium.
It was the defendant who first introduced you to that idea of alter egos.
Yes, sir. If we would have a daughter, that upon her 13th birthday, he would take her virginity.
Just when we thought we knew everything about the unaliving of Dee Dee Blchard, new video evidence has surfaced, bringing to light a chilling, intimate look into the twisted relationship between Gypsy Rose Blanchard and Nicholas Godejohn. These never-before-seen court documents that detail the videos Gypsy and Nicholas sent back and forth to each other during the course of their online relationship reveal more than just a toxic bond. They show manipulation, obsession, and a disturbing detachment from reality. In this video, we will be covering all of the new court documents that detail the videos Gypsy Rose Blanchard sent to Nicholas Godejohn. This video is part 2 of our series, so if you missed the first video where I go over Nick's videos, be sure to check that one out as well.
Warning: this video contains content that some may find disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
During the course of their online relationship, Gypsy would send close to 100 videos to Nicholas. During Nicholas Godejohn's trial, the state provided them in discovery, however, they were never shown to a jury. In fact, Gypsy would go on to testify during Nicholas Godejohn's trial as a defense witness to testify that she's the one that planned the unaliving. However, when the role-playing in the videos are brought up at trial, Gypsy testified that as a part of the role play, Nick was the master and she was the slave. Through cross-examination, the state went on to suggest that on a lot of the videos, Nicholas would send Gypsy a script and instruct her on what to do in the videos.
You also were asked a little bit about the videos that you and the defendant sent back and forth. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
And on a lot of those videos that you would send, the defendant would actually send you a script beforehand, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that script would instruct you on what to do in the videos.
Yes, sir.
And they weren't always things you wanted to do, correct?
That is correct.
But you did them anyways.
Yes, sir.
Because the defendant told you to.
Yes, sir.
She further admitted to engaging in grape fantasies with Nicholas, but claimed to not be crazy about the idea and that she was simply indulging him. In one of Nicholas Godejohn's appeal documents, it states, counsel had available videos which suggested otherwise. Counsel failed to establish that this testimony was false. Only a small portion of the videos appear to be scripted by Nicholas. The grand majority are of Gypsy's own creation. Some of the explicit videos are formatted to look like a real movie with credits at the end. There are also many in which she had sex with herself using her fingers or objects, including a toothbrush, where she appears to be very much enjoying herself and not engaging in activity simply to indulge Nicholas. There are also videos in which she is a dominant character who talks about ways she will grape Nicholas. In an 8-minute video dated August 11, 2014, Damona addresses Nicholas as her slave and informs him there are new rules and that her punishment of him will be extreme. She will cause him pain by making him strip and graping him with a strap on so hard that he will scream. She will be meaner and meaner until he submits to her. She says she is a bitch and he should not dare to cross her. At the end, she touches herself and tells Nicholas that is all he will get for now. Because trial counsel failed to investigate and present this evidence, the jury never heard or saw this information, which would have countered the state's theory. Another 10-minute video dated May 26, 2014 contains 2 videos. In the second video, she appears as Damona wearing a long red wig and lingerie. She tells Nicholas that things have changed. She is his dominant and he is her slave. She says she doesn't enjoy punishing him, but it has to be done. She describes how she will reward him with But if he displeases her, she has ways of punishing him. If he fails to do as she asks, she, Damona, will take away Nicholas's time with Gypsy. She threatens to punish Nicholas by refusing to allow Gypsy to talk to him for a week. She will command him to perform acts on her, and he'll have to do it or she will be displeased. She praises him for being a good slave so far and continues to encourage him to do a good job.
If you disobey me in any way, or displease me in any way, I will use the one card that I have over you. Gypsy.
Gypsy also testified in court that she created her personas to fit Nicholas Godejohn's personas and that he introduced the role-playing. And while it may be true that Gypsy created these personas to fit with Nicholas's personas, we know that Gypsy is no stranger to cosplaying and dressing up. In fact, Dan Glidewell's testimony would suggest that Gypsy was no stranger to role-playing at all. Dan Glidewell is the man that Gypsy met at VisionCon and briefly dated prior to Nicholas. This is also the man that she ran away to his home and Dee Dee brought her back home. Now, he testified, I believe, at one of Nicholas Godejohn's appeals, and in his testimony, he stated that he and Gypsy would send explicit videos to each other. He also discusses how they role-played occasionally. He referred to Gypsy as being shy and timid. He says he developed a taste of power exchange role-playing from her. He says she would send nude photos, dress up in costumes, and use various fictitious names. He would further testify that Gypsy knew what she was doing. In contemplating having intercourse together, Gypsy told him that she did not need her wheelchair and could move around like any normal girl. Gypsy sent him naked images of herself, including images of her masturbating with a toothbrush. On direct examination, counsel asked Gypsy how many boyfriends she had prior to Nicholas, to which Gypsy replied none. Had counsel investigated information readily available to them, counsel would have known that was not true. In addition to evidence to the contrary available through the witness Daniel Glidewell, Gypsy wrote on August 10, 2014 through her Damona Love Slave account as follows. Yes, master, it was 2010 and 2011. I had just surfaced inside Gypsy when I started playing games with guys, and I used Gypsy's fingers to make the texts and take the pics. The men asked me to send them nudes, so I took my top off, took the pic, and sent it. Sad face. I had fun teasing them, saying I'd have sex with them, but I never went through with my words, only the texts and pics. I sent them to 4 guys, but Gypsy's mom found out and threatened the men that if they ever came close to me again, she'd put them in jail because Gypsy was underage and or they were like 35 to 50. I was stupid, master. I was testing my limits of sex, and I was getting male attention like I wanted. I told you I was untamed before I met you. Then you tamed me, and I've been loyal to you ever since. So here we have a communication with Gypsy and Dan Glidewell where she's using similar lingo to what she did with Nicholas, calling him master. Gypsy wrote in her book, My Time to Stand, that Nick introduced the violence, the schmurders, the blood, the carvings, the brutal grape fantasies, and she was afraid of losing his validation. She wrote that she ignored his ex-girlfriend's Facebook message warning that he was controlling and, quote, not all there, end quote. Quote, what girl wants to see her ex happy, end quote, Nick rationalized when I told him his ex messaged me. It wasn't until he told me that upon our daughter's 13th birthday, he would take her virginity that I thought he crossed the creepy line. I broke up with him, but like a good submissive, I accepted his apologies and returned to our status quo, the same way I accepted my mother's non-apologies. However, in the newly released FOIA documents, we have a list detailing the videos Gypsy and Nicholas sent back and forth to each other, which I'm going to read to you in just a minute, where we have a video titled Damona's Anniversary Video, where Gypsy tells Nicholas if they had a girl, then their daughter had to lose her virginity to Nicholas because he would be the master of the household. She said when she turned 13, she would explain this to their daughter and why she had to give her virginity to Nicholas. Gypsy has actually responded on TikTok in a comment regarding this video where she talks about her daughter. She wrote, "Let me speak on that. Keep in mind that I was forced to say that at the demand of a deranged man. I was used and abused by that psychopath, and he was the predator, end of story." And P.S. that psychopath is right where he belongs, and he's gonna stay there for the rest of his GD life, and anyone who defends that POS is just flat out ignorant. In her testimony, Gypsy claimed that it wasn't until she was 19 years old that she started to piece together that she was actually not sick. She further testified that she did not understand to the extent of how healthy she was until after her arrest. Counsel failed to elicit evidence readily available that was contrary to this assertion, and that would further defense counsel's theory of the case that Nicholas was particularly vulnerable to her manipulation because of his ASD. Specifically, evidence was available to counsel that when Gypsy left Missouri for Wisconsin, she only took pain medication with her and no other prescription medications. Further, in a video dated May 26, 2014, Gypsy shows Nicholas that she can stand and walk. She explains that when she was 6 years old, she went into the hospital and that during surgery, the doctor said she had a seizure and was paralyzed. They didn't know if it was only temporary. She started getting feeling and tingling in her legs when she was young and kept it to herself. She kept it from her mom because she was afraid that her mom would stop loving her. So she kept it to herself until 2011 when she rebelled and ran away from home. She said that explaining to their friends that she could walk would be too hard. She says she would like for people to know the truth, but she would lose a lot of friends. In addition, the state adduced evidence that Nicholas threatened to unalive himself on June 2, 2015, close in time to the date of the offense. Trial counsel failed to present evidence that Gypsy made threats to unalive herself multiple times as early as May 2013. This would have suggested to the jury that Nicholas was not the manipulator as the state argued he was, but the manipulated who mimicked what he learned from Gypsy online. Instead, the jury never heard or saw this information. Now I'm going to read to you all of the new documents that detail the videos Gypsy Rose Blanchard sent to Nicholas Godejohn. The following are videos this investigator thought were of significance from Gypsy to Nicholas, which were located on Nicholas's computer. The following are the files and videos I reviewed and is not intended as a transcript or exact text of the files and videos. Now, this very first video says nothing pertaining to the homicide. This next video sounds like the video that NPG Cornerstone Nation released on their channel not too long ago. Video 00254. This says, Gypsy is outside on her deck in her wheelchair and is recording the backyard with her cell phone. She was pointing to several areas close to her house and said these areas were, quote, good spots, end quote. She did not elaborate on what she meant by good spots, but it was fairly obvious from MPG's video that they made that Gypsy was trying to point out different locations that they could have schmecks and make a baby, as that was one of their plans. Gypsy is showing Nicholas several baby items she has collected and put in plastic containers. She said Damona got all the baby items and she, Gypsy, did not have to get them. She even thanked Damona for getting the baby items. She said now all she needed was the baby. Then we have Gypsy is showing some black and pink lacy underwear she said she would be wearing for Nicholas when they meet again in June. Next video, Gypsy is apologizing to Nicholas because of how she acted the day before. She said she would try to be a better person in the future and she would never leave him. Then we have 3 more videos that say nothing pertaining to the homicide. Then we have 2 videos titled A Special Video for Our King Nick, Nothing Pertaining to the Homicide, and then Video Would Not Play. 2 anniversary videos, Nothing Pertaining to the Homicide. The second video would not play. Answering Your Videos, Video Would Not Play. Answering Your Videos, Gypsy talked about how she did not feel she was worthy of Nicholas and she was a broken person and did not know how to fix herself. She apologized several times to Nicholas in this video. Then we have Answering Your Videos, same as above. Answering Your Lovely Videos, Nothing Pertaining to the Homicide. Bath, Video Would Not Play. Bath, Nothing Pertaining to the Homicide. Then we have Being Owned by Master. Gypsy said she was making this video at the command of Master Victor. She talks about Victor being a ruler of everything and how he was in charge of everything and every part of her. She said he took care of her, and if he asked her to do something, she would do it. She said Victor's words overruled Nicholas's words, and she had to obey him. Gypsy then changes her wig and outfit and called herself Demona, and told Nicholas she was commanded to do this video by Victor. She then gets naked and told Nicholas that Victor owned all of her, including her body. Next we have being owned by Master, video would not play. Cape Cod trip, nothing pertaining to the homicide. Cape Cod trip, video would not play. Come with Demona 2, nothing pertaining to the homicide. Come with Demona, video would not play. Demona part 1, 2. Gypsy introduces herself as Demona and said she would do anything Nicholas said for her to do. Demona part 1, video would not play. Demona part 2, 2. This is continuation from video titled Demona part 1, 2. She continued to talk about how she pledged her life and love to him. Demona part 2, video would not play. Demona part 3, 2. Gypsy is portraying to be Demona and talked about how she, Demona, was the reason for the breakup between she and Nicholas. She talked about how she was going to unalive herself because she caused them to break up. Demona part 3, video would not play. Demona to Sir Black One. Gypsy introduces herself as Demona, and she told Nicholas she was making this video because he commanded her to do so. She talked about how she was a SLUT and she could hurt someone, but she could not physically harm her mother or Nicholas. She said if Sir Black One wanted to beat her for not wanting to hurt them, then he could beat her physically. She said she was very good at stealing and this was her specialty. She went on to explain how and why she was good at stealing. She talked about how she could make money and she promised Nicholas she would do this for him, even if it meant her sleeping with a stranger for money. She said she could grape Nicholas by tying him up and they would be great partners in crime. Video titled Demona to Sir Black One, video would not play. Demona's anniversary video. Gypsy introduces herself as Demona. She talked about being in love with him and how she wanted to live together away from other people. She talked about having children with Nicholas. She said they would have to teach and educate their children what not to say in public to keep him being a vampire secret. If they had a girl, then their daughter had to lose her V to Nicholas because he would be the master of the household. She said when she turned 13, she would explain this to their daughter and why she had to lose her V to Nicholas. So that is very interesting that we've always been told that Nicholas is the one that said this had to happen with their daughter, and now we have Gypsy saying this in a video. After that, we have Demona's anniversary video, video would not play. Demona's dance for Master, nothing pertaining to the homicide. Another Demona's dance for Master, video would not play. Demona's new message to her Master Victor, video would not play. Demona's new message to her Master Victor again. Gypsy introduces herself as Demona. Demona's sexy video 2, nothing pertaining to the homicide. Another Demona sexy video, video would not play. Demona's short tease 2, nothing pertaining to the homicide. The next video is titled Demona sorry to her master. Gypsy introduces herself as Demona. She talked about how she had done something bad and she had disappointed Nicholas. She said that she was very sorry for disappointing him because of a profile she had made on the computer. She told him she was afraid of disappointing him and she knew this was wrong. Throughout the video, she begged for forgiveness. She talked about how sorry she was and how she was a submissive slave to him. Then we have Demona's reassurance video 2, nothing pertaining to the homicide. Demona's surprise reassurance video, video would not play. Demona's vow video, video would not play. Demona's vow video, nothing pertaining to the homicide. Then we have 2 more, video would not play, nothing pertaining to the homicide. Final video test, nothing pertaining. Good night to my king 2, nothing pertaining. Good night to my king, video would not play. Here we have another list of videos. These videos are nothing pertaining to the homicide or video would not play. These are all titled like Gypsy, Gypsy Part 1, Part 2, Gypsy and Damona's White Collar video, Gypsy Romance 2, Gypsy Talking to Her King Nick 2, and then further down, Gypsy Video Would Not Play, and then Gypsy's Big Test Part 2, Video Would Not Play. The next video, also titled Gypsy's Big Test Part 2, says, in this video, Gypsy is recording herself to Nicholas as he had commanded. She had a list of commands from Nicholas to sit and stand in different positions, as well as take some of her clothes off. He commanded her to bow, kiss the floor, and to remove the rest of her clothes. She is fully nude at this time now. She is instructed to do a full 360, turn so the camera would catch every side of her naked body. She is commanded to get on her hands and knees. Throughout the rest of the video, she is commanded to pose for the camera in other sexually explicit positions and to play with her B, V, and A. Then we have Gypsy's farewell video to Victor 2. Gypsy is talking as herself and is telling her master goodbye. She often wondered if she had pleased him or not. She talked about how she learned a lot from him and she was sad because it was like saying goodbye to a family member. She appeared to be sad and was crying in this video over saying goodbye to her master. Then we have Gypsy's farewell video to Victor, would not play. Gypsy's final attempt of humiliation test, video would not play. Gypsy's final attempt of humiliation test. In this video, Gypsy is in a bathtub and said she was doing this video because she was commanded to do so. She rubbed several items of food all over her body and said she felt ashamed and humiliated. She begged her master to let her pass this test. Then we have Gypsy's first reassurance about Mail 2, nothing pertaining to the homicide. Gypsy's first reassurance about Mail, video would not play. Gypsy's humiliation test, video would not play. Gypsy's humiliation test. In this video, Gypsy is in a bathtub and said she was doing this video to become Nicholas's slave. She rubbed several items of food all over her body and said she felt ashamed and humiliated. She begged her master to let her pass this test. She said she was completely humiliated and hoped it was all worthwhile. She was visibly upset and crying. Then we have Gypsy's part to Nick, nothing pertaining. Gypsy's part to Nick, video would not play. Gypsy's second attempt to calm Nick about court, video would not play. Gypsy's second attempt to calm Nick down about court, nothing pertaining. Gypsy's smexual test, video would not play. Gypsy's smexual test, nothing pertaining. Then we have Gypsy's sorry message about Jackie 2. Gypsy told Nicholas she made a mistake and did not mean to go against his wishes. She received a message from a, quote, Jackie's husband, end quote. She said she sent him a message 6 months prior and then he responded back. She begged for Nicholas's forgiveness and apologized throughout the video. She was visibly upset and crying on the video. She begged Nicholas not to leave her and talked about how she was not perfect. She said she would obey him from now on and she would do or be anything he wanted. Then we have Gypsy's sorry message about Jackie, video would not play. Gypsy's sweet first attempt to calm Nick down about trial, video would not play. Gypsy's sweet first attempt to calm Nick down about trial, nothing pertaining. Gypsy's tribute to Me and Gypsy 2, nothing pertaining. Gypsy's tribute to Me and Gypsy, video would not play. Gypsy's video to My Evil Side, video would not play. Gypsy's video to My Evil Side. Gypsy introduces herself as Gypsy. She said she was making this video to Nicholas's evil side. She thanked him for what he was going to do for her and the both of them. She said she was sorry for not getting all of the ingredients that are necessary. She did not get a taser because she thought they were going to do one plan and then she changed the plan. She asked Nicholas to please not hurt her. She said she did end up getting a knife, tape, and handcuffs. She was not specific about what she was talking about. She said she would accept the punishment, whatever it was. Happy 4th of July video from My Baby 2, nothing pertaining to the homicide. Happy 4th of July video from My Baby, video would not play. Happy B-Day, My Handsome King, nothing pertaining to the homicide. Happy B-Day, My Handsome King, video would not play. Happy B-Day, My Handsome King, same video as titled above. Happy B-Day outside, nothing pertaining. Happy B-Day outside, short video, video would not play. Happy birthday, my love, too, nothing pertaining to the homicide. More happy birthday videos, happy birthday redo, happy Valentine's Day, happy V-Day 2013, hey baby 2, hey baby again, and then I am so deeply sorry for letting you down, master, video would not play. I am so deeply sorry for letting you down, Master. In this video, Gypsy is talking to Master Victor, Nicholas. She made a bad mistake because she was not observant. She said she was sorry for not ending a conversation on the computer in the correct way by putting an emoji symbol at the end, and this was why Nicholas was upset. She was punished by not hearing or talking to Nicholas. She talked about how much her life is disrupted when she cannot talk to Nicholas. She understood why he was punishing her, but she begged him to forgive her and to let her talk to Nicholas. She was visibly upset and crying. I'm so sorry too. In this video, Gypsy was apologizing to Nicholas for being a bad girlfriend and complaining. She is visibly upset and asked him to forgive her. I am so sorry, my king, too. In this video, again, Gypsy apologized to Nicholas for her not thinking clearly, being confused, and being stupid. She talked about a person who had feelings towards her, but she did not have feelings for him. She told Nicholas it was just a friendship feeling and nothing more. She talked about how she did not want to lose him. She had to explain herself to Nicholas and was visibly upset. Then we have a list of more videos. Majority of these are titled I'm so sorry or I'm so sorry king. Videos would not play or nothing was pertaining to the homicide until we get to I'm sorry baby part 1, 2. Gypsy apologized to Nicholas for getting angry with him. She said Victor can be overwhelming at times and she loved him. This video was short. Then we have letter response 1 and 2, and then a series of other videos that would not play or did not pertain to the homicide. We have some more videos that did not pertain to the homicide or wouldn't play. One was titled My Baby Gypsy and Mistress Damona's Random Videos, My Dear as Harley Quinn, My Mistress Damona's Video to Me, and then at the bottom we have My Response Video. Gypsy said she was sorry to Nicholas because she was being a brat about showing her body to him. She was upset with Nicholas because he wanted to look at her whole body and then he would judge her body after he observed her naked. She said she did not want to do this because she was afraid he was going to post the pictures. She apologizes to Nicholas for not communicating properly. She said she would not backtalk towards him and he did have a right to spank her. She talked about Nicholas's dominant side and how she could adapt to his dominant side and she would be good from now on. She said he was allowed to give her 15 spankings for being disrespectful towards him. She was not crying in this video but was a bit upset. My slave Gypsy's first sexy video would not play. My video back to you, hun, nothing pertaining. My vow, nothing pertaining. My vow again, video would not play. 1 year anniversary of being proud to be Master Victor's soulmate slaves, nothing pertaining. 1 year anniversary of being proud to be Master Victor's soulmate slaves, video would not play. Our anniversary video would not play. Our anniversary video, nothing pertaining. Part 1 of the test, video would not play. Part 1 of the test, nothing pertaining. Then we have plea video 2. In this video, Gypsy was crying and telling Nicholas she was sorry for making so many mistakes. She was pleading for Victor to not take Nicholas away from her. She promised to do better. Gypsy then said she is now Damona and begged Victor to not let any of Gypsy's personalities lose Nicholas. All her plans in life included Nicholas and she could not bear losing him. Another plea video would not play. Proving I'm a SLUT video would not play. Another one of those. Redo video to my love, nothing pertaining. Another video would not play. Ruby's introduction video to her perfect match video would not play. Ruby's introduction video to her perfect match. This video is the same as the report, which was written and labeled as, quote, video from Gypsy to Nicholas, located on Nicholas' computer, labeled hard drive B, end quote. This report would be in binder 1 of the binders. So this video we actually have a description of in the original case file. Now, many of you may already be familiar with this video, as this is the only video that was detailed in the original case file. So this is the supplemental report, and this video was taken from Gypsy's cell phone, and she sent this video to Nicholas. I was notified by Springfield Police Department computer forensic analyst Michael Costello in reference to audio-video footage he located involving Gypsy Blchard. The audio-video was 15 minutes long. The following is a summation of the recorded audio/video of Gypsy Blchard. It is not intended as a transcript or exact text of the recording. In this audio-video, Gypsy appears in what looks like a black and colored jacket with a red wig, addressing it to Nicholas from Gypsy, calling him sir. She states, "Hi sir, this is Ruby and I'm making this video as an introduction video." Gypsy admits Ruby is the most evil side of her. Gypsy stated in this audio video she likes to get in trouble and she is not sorry when she gets caught. Gypsy stated her caring was broken and she was not scared of law enforcement, but she would be scared of Nicholas's evil side. Gypsy stated she would do anything with Nicholas, to include rape, murder, and assault. Gypsy tells Nicholas if at any time a girl tried to become his girlfriend, she would unalive them with pleasure and there would be lots of gore and blood. Gypsy stated if a girl was trying to get with Nicholas for schmecks, she might allow it, but if the girl tried to get with him as a girlfriend, she would unalive her and they would unalive her together. Gypsy goes on to say how if they were a family member unalived, she would not be so brutal and she would have to step back and let him handle it. Gypsy stated she would allow Nicholas to grape her anytime he wanted, but to not physically assault her, but she was okay with, quote, rough schmecks and grape schmecks. Gypsy talked about the romantic side of Ruby and how Ruby was not touchy-feely. However, Kitty, Candy, and Bella were the romantic sides of her. Gypsy stated in this audio/video she was very good at stealing and talked about how they could steal bigger things together. Gypsy talked about how she was, quote, very good at planning things, end quote. Gypsy said she liked to cause, quote, mischief and mayhem, end quote, but Nicholas would have to put her in charge of all the planning. Gypsy stated she comes with, quote, very, very bad ideas, end quote, and then referred to her bad ideas as robbery, grape, vandalism, and stealing vehicles. The remainder of the video, Gypsy talked about her and Nicholas bonding when they could finally be together. Other than the above-mentioned statements, there was nothing of evidentiary value on the audio-video footage. Then we have a series of videos that are titled Seductress Mother, and there's part 1 through 6. A lot of these say nothing pertaining or video would not play. Then we have Slave Demona and Slave Gypsy's White Collar, both of those not pertaining and would not play. Slaves Having Fun, part 1 and 2. Song for My Love, part 1 and 2. Sweet Dreams, part 1 and 2. Then we have several thank you so much for the V-Day card and letter to Nick's Dom side, and then trip to KC. Then finally we have Valentine's Day 2014, Valentine's Day video to my master from Demona, and all of these are not pertaining to the homicide or the video would not play. And there you have it, the newly uncovered videos that Gypsy Rose Blanchard sent to Nicholas Godejohn are painting a picture even darker than before. These role-playing videos aren't just bizarre, they may be key in recontextualizing what we thought we knew about her state of mind, her manipulation tactics, and the depth of their twisted relationship. Whether you believe she was a victim, a mastermind, or somewhere in between, these new FOIA documents are impossible to ignore. And this is just the beginning. We have a lot more to cover. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to stay updated with every strange twist in this story.